Okay, clase, I am back. And as I said, grammar may be the least effective way to learn it, but it can be helpful for many of us, and it helps put the structure in. So I have grammar, la gramática. Don't worry, I'm not going to get into all of this. I'm going to stick right here with verbos, sustantivos, nouns, verbs. We're going to keep it simple. But know that grammar includes so much. Even in English, you guys still take English classes. You've been speaking English for a while, but you still are learning things like what is an article, what is a preposition, how do you use it, how do you use the negative form of a sentence, how to ask a question, how to do those interrogatives, which is another way to say question. All of these things we're still learning in English. So know that we can learn them in Spanish. It just takes time, and again, I like to do it in a more natural way. Let's go ahead and begin. I'll try to keep this simple and fun, but this is going to give those of you that are begging for some structure a little bit of structure and see how you're doing. You might be impressed how much you already know. All right, si se puede. Yes, you can. Si se puede. Okay, we're going to learn some basics, how to create, speak, and read in Spanish, just basics. Okay, I have several steps to get us there. Stick with me. Quédate conmigo mientras pasamos o repasamos maneras simples para creer, hacer el lenguaje en manera más tradicional, la manera de usando la gramática. Voy a hacer todo lo que puedo para quedar todo más como ligera, divertida, pero también voy a darles otros materiales adicionales si gustas. Okay? Listen up. Next. Vamos a primero aprender cómo escribir un frase. Escribir un frase. Escribiendo un frase, oración means sentence. Frase also means phrase, but in a beginning learner situation, it's very common to say frase, meaning sentence. So when you hear me say frase, I'm meaning sentence. More formally, I can call it oración, an oration, right, a whole sentence. I just use frase, keep it simple. Escribimos un frase. Para escribir un frase, necesitas sustantivo, noun, y verb. Same as English, right? Okay, let's see an example. Yo, sustantivo, a noun, a person, yo, correr, verbo correr. Yo, correr. Now, correr is the thing that means to run. You would not say a sentence, I to run. That sounds a little funny in English even, right? I to run. So in Spanish, if you say yo correr, also sounds funny. That doesn't make any sense. You need to change this verb, conjugate, as we always talk about when you do conjugate. Conjugate, which means change the verb to say who's doing that. Whatever that is, who's doing it. Because it is yo, I need to drop the ending, drop the last two letters, use one of the charts above. I'll give you some in the next few slides. You'll have one. You can go online to look for verb charts if that helps you. But we have learned when it is yo, so we drop that ER and put an O. Yo, a pirate's life for me. That's how I always remember it. Yo. So yo, corro. Drop the ER, add the new ending that matches the subject. So a complete sentence here is yo corro. That's a sentence. I run. Yo corro. If I want to add to that, and we're not focusing on that today, we're just doing very simple. But if I want to add to that, I can ask myself, maybe when. When do I run? Yo corro en la mañana. See? I run in the morning. Corro en la mañana. Or I can say who I run with. Yo corro con mi hijo. I run with my son. So we add to these sentences to describe them a little better, just like in English. But right now, for you to understand basic sentences, we're focusing on a subject and a verb. Sujeto y verbo. Yo corro. Yo corro. Okay, seguimos. Uh-oh, I touched the screen, then it doesn't work. Okay. Next we have Enrique, otro sustantivo, o sujeto, subject. Sustantivo is a noun, sujeto is a subject. Enrique, y el verbo bailar. La, 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 la. Baila. Enrique, bailar. Again, we don't say Enrique, bailar. That's saying Enrique or Ricky to dance, which doesn't make sense. So we have to change that. Cut off the ER and add the appropriate ending for a singular person. That's the bottom. So that means we add an A. So Enrique baila. Enrique dances. That's writing a sentence. Some of you are like, this is boring. I know how to do this. If you know how to do this, then great. Look what you already know. Bravissimo. Some of us want to make sure and review. The more we hear it, the stronger our knowledge can be. Okay. Paula y Ana, otro sustantivo. Paula y Ana, dos personas. Paula y Ana. Vivir. Vivir is to live. Vivir is to live. Paula y Ana. Drop the IR, add the appropriate ending for plural that doesn't include me. That's the bottom corner. So if it's an IR word, that becomes an EN. So Paula y Ana viven. Paula y Ana viven. Paula y Ana live. That's it. Okay? You can also change, because we have a multiple subject, or with any subject, you can always change it and use the pronoun, the subject pronoun. Instead of saying Paula y Ana, you can simply say ellas. Ellas viven. Both of those are correct sentences. Paula y Ana viven, or ellas viven. Just like this says Enrique baila, I can also say él baila. Same thing. When I say Enrique, I'm being more specific, but if I'm writing a whole paragraph, I do not want to say Enrique vive, Enrique baila, Enrique. No, that becomes really redundant. So then I switch out Enrique for his subject pronoun, which is él. Él baila. Can do that. Okay? So this shows you basic subject and verb. Again, this should be really easy for you, and hopefully the activities that I have in the Google form will be like ridiculously easy. If they're not, then look at this further. I recommend you look at any writing material you have. Go to those books we read online. Look at the sentences. Diagram them if that's what helps you. Circle the subject, underline the verb. Help yourself be able to identify that, and you'll understand that you already know more than you know. Okay, on the Google form today, there will be, first of all, some choices of sentences. I give you the subject, I give you a verb. You need to make it into a sentence, so you choose. Multiple choice, very easy. After that, when I see, you can be a little bit more comfortable with that, then I have some where I just give you the subject and verb, and you need to write the sentences. So doing that would mean that you're writing Enrique baila or Paula y Ana viven. Okay, those aren't the sentences. You have new ones in the Google form. But that's what you're going to be doing. That's number one, writing sentences. You may need this information. These are our subject pronouns. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes. We do not use the vosotros in our classroom. It is a real form. If you want to practice it, you can. I have found, my personal opinion, and the opinion of educators all around the world, this is only used in Spain and a few parts in Argentina. That's it. The whole rest of the Spanish world does not use that. So I don't bother teaching it. My college level, my 101 and 102 classes, we do teach it. At a college level, it's considered not academic to not teach it. So we teach it. But they will know it's the weirdest form. It has the weirdest endings. It's just the weirdest form. And since it's not the majority of what you need to know, I don't even teach it in my lower classes. But if you want to know, some of you that want to push that further, you can study that as well. Vosotros is the plural you guys. Just like tú is informal way of saying you, vosotros is informal way of saying ustedes. That's all it is. It's a plural less formal, plural. Anyway, don't worry about that. We just focus on yo, tú, él, usted, nosotros, ellos, ustedes. Just focus on that. Here are the endings. You take off the AR if it's an AR verb, and you add o, as, a, amos, an. For an ER verb, you take off the ER and add o, es, emos, en. If it's an IR verb, you take off the IR and add o, es, imos, en. Notice ER and IR are the exact same, except in the nosotros form is when you see that it came from an IR verb or came from an ER verb. Otherwise, it's o, es, and en. Okay, this should make it easy for you. You might want to pause and write this down, or you can always look up this information on the internet. Okay, if you want to learn more about forming sentences, I have found 3 videos that reteach you what I just taught. Some of them go a little bit further. The first one I have, very simple. She reteaches you what I have taught you. Okay, very simple Spanish sentences. The second one, they teach it, they go a little bit further, so this will advance you a little bit more. Instead of just saying perro sigue, the dog follows, they add that other end, sigue la bola. So this is a little bit more difficult. And finally, the last video helps to put pieces of the puzzle together and teaches it even deeper. So these are optional. Watch them if you want to. Again, I have kept the language that I'm teaching you guys at a very simple level. I would rather speak Spanish to you than focus on this. But this has a place. So those of you that are begging for this, here you go. The rest of you, hang in there. But you'd be surprised. The way that I have taught, the things that I've taught, you probably get a lot of this already. This makes so much sense. So that makes me happy. So these are additional videos. They're linked below. Watch them or don't. That's up to you. Okay? That was number 1, writing sentences. Número 2, preguntas. Preguntas, question words. A very important part of communication is being able to ask and answer questions, right? We do the persona especial specifically to ask and answer questions. I don't break this down and teach it. I just model it by showing you questions. We look at the definitions and you do it, and you do well. You do great. If you haven't done that video, do it and submit it. It's not due till next week though, so don't stress about it. But let's talk about some of these basic question words. There's a few more. These are the 6 that I focus on, but there's some other ones that are also important you might see in some of the videos. I focus on quién, quién, quién. I point to a name badge. Quién, quién, that means who. Quién. And then qué, what. Qué. Then we have cuándo. Again, I point to my watch. That's when. Cuándo. Cuándo. ¿Dónde? ¿Dónde? Where? ¿Dónde? ¿Cuál? I use both my hands to say I'm trying to decide which of these 2 things. ¿Cuál? ¿Cuál? And finally, ¿cómo? How do I do ¿cómo? 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 It just means how. ¿Cómo? ¿Cómo is how. So these questions are some of the basic question words. Let's see them in action. ¿Quién? 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 Tiene. Tiene, that verb tener, you know that verb. Tiene. Tiene 15 años. I have 15 years, right? Tiene. ¿Quién? Who? ¿Quién? Tiene un celular. Un celular. That should be easy. It's a cognate. ¿Quién tiene un celular? Right? ¿Quién? ¿Quién tiene un celular? El segundo, ¿qué? ¿Qué día es hoy? ¿Qué? ¿Qué? What día es hoy? ¿Qué día es hoy? ¿Sí? ¿Cuándo terminamos? Terminar means to terminate, like the Terminator, or to end. To end. So, when we say cuando terminamos, when do we finish? The amos is talking about us, right? So when do we finish? When do we finish? When is this class over already? All right, when do we finish? ¿Dónde está La maestra. ¿Dónde está la maestra? ¿Dónde está la maestra? ¿Sí? ¿Cuál canción te gusta más? ¿Cuál canción te gusta más? ¿Un año o tutu? ¿Cuál canción te gusta más? ¿Cuál canción te gusta más? ¿Sí? Y final, ¿cómo está el perro? ¿Cómo está el perro? ¿Cómo está el perro? ¿Está feliz? ¿Está cansado? ¿Cómo está el perro? So knowing how to ask questions, knowing how to answer questions, very important. So really, you can figure out, like we know now, what each of these words mean. Okay. So then to create a sentence, just think of it. It's okay to use your English as a crutch to help you think of what you want to ask. What do I want to ask? I want to ask, where is the food? That's what I want to ask. I want to know where the food, I'm hungry, I want to know where the food is. So I look for the word where, donde, is, so is a state of being. It's either going to be ser or estar. So I'm thinking about the food, is it going to be there always, or I'm just looking for it right now? I'm just looking for it right now. ¿Dónde está la comida? ¿Dónde está la comida? That's how you simply write sentences. This should also be easy for you, but I'm giving it to you in a more formal, traditional way. Okay, seguimos. Now you will use these 6 question words. I have these 6 words on 6 individual questions below in the Google form. Quiero que hacen preguntas. Escriba preguntas. If this is super easy for you, congrats. Yay! If this is a struggle, look for things online. Maybe go back to some of those books that you were reading yesterday. Okay, look at the books and you'll see when you look at whole sentences how things are worded. So feel free to spend some time looking things up. Enjoy. I hope this is easy for you. If it's not, then you need to spend more time looking at it. I can't make these connections happen in your brain. All our brains work differently. Your brain is wired its own way. You need to look at these things and connect them. And if you feel like you're not getting it, then you need to spend more time doing it. Watch the videos, look for books, read. These are ways that we can get those things to connect. So if you have questions, do let me know. If you want a whole bunch of traditional exercises, they exist online, or you can let me know and I can give you a bunch of those exercises. But I think it's almost like a baby quiz to see how you do. It's not graded like a quiz. Don't worry, I'm seeing how you do. Everything's relaxed. But do it. You'll be surprised what you already know. No se olviden, don't forget. Personas Especiales due Monday. I am the only one that sees it. That video will not be posted ever, anywhere. This is for me to see. I will take notes, and the notes of the video is what I will share with everyone. So I just want to see what you do. Those of you that already submitted, good job. I got them. Thank you. That makes me super happy and excited to get them from the rest of y'all. So that is it today. That's it. Double check. Yep, that's it. I've loved being able to be with you. Yes, this is grammar this week. I'm showing you some grammar. We'll get back to some fun later, but hopefully this isn't too miserable. I'm helping you to put things together, to be able to speak and write and have confidence in that. Okay, I want you to have confidence in what you do. But remember, whether you're in my Spanish 1 class, my Spanish 2 class, or even my 101 and 102 class, you are still learning, okay? Even I am still learning. We all are still learning in life. But don't think you have to be fluent right this minute, okay? Take it piece by piece. But know that you already know an awful lot, so bravo you. Okay, do the form below and enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao.